What's up, guys? Thanks for tuning in, and I hope that you can take time and spend the next 40 to 45 minutes taking a look at this presentation, which is going to thoroughly break down the entire FES opportunity from the customer side of things and from the agent side of things. I'm going to let fellow agent Scott Brewster, I got to meet him last weekend in Orlando at the event. Man, we spent the whole weekend, and he actually just started a little over a month ago, and he's already reached vice president, okay, in less than 5 weeks. So I want you to listen to him because I think he resonates with the average American, okay, the average American that has, wife, kids, and kind of wanted to get out that 9-to-5 lifestyle. So if you're looking for a way to boost your credit score, take care of your current finances, and most importantly, earn an income, this is where you need to be. This is where you need to be paying attention. Make sure you cut out all distractions, turn off your phone, ignore all texts, ignore social media, lock yourself in a room, stay away from barking dogs or nagging spouses and screaming kids. Cut all that out, pay attention for the next 40 or so minutes, and I promise you that it will not be a waste of your time. Once you're ready to get going, you can contact me, via DM, Messenger, text if you have my number. You know how to reach me. But we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna set a game plan for how we can get you up and running and ready to get things going within the next few weeks. Don't overanalyze this. Don't make this harder than it is. This is what's going down. You're going to learn about a service that most American needs, especially adults, okay? It's probably a service that you need right now. It has a business opportunity that will allow you to eventually become financially free if you put in the work. There are no guarantees, so there's business opportunity. The company's been around for a long time, over 15 years. The service works, they pay well, they pay on time, and we're still growing. So this is, we're entering the momentum phase, and this is the perfect timing for you to get involved with this because you're going to be, piggybacking off of our system, our success, our testimony, which you'll be seeing. So pay attention. If you're watching this on my website, I'm going to leave a whole bunch of other little videos and testimony and all types of lifestyle, and you can meet a bunch of the other agents, and you can see exactly what it is that we have going on here, and you're going to want to get involved. All right? Pay attention. Stay tuned.
All right. I'm hearing that I can be heard, so I'm going to get going. Everybody's muted, so let me get rolling. Guys, I apologize. Usually I can hear a lot of background noise. So there's some messages popping up here. It looks like we're fine, so let's get going. I apologize for a little bit late. You guys know normally I am crazy about the time, so I apologize that I'm 3 minutes late. But guys, let's get started. We've got something really exciting tonight. In fact, I have been just blown away over the last 3 weeks about what's happened here. And guys, before we get started, let me let you know, my name is Scott Brewster, and I'm coming to you from Brandon, Mississippi. And I am not an employee of Financial Education Services. I'm a person just like you. And I got involved with this about 5 weeks ago. And it has really, really surprised me. So I'm going to spend a few minutes and go through things and just share it with you. I'm going to go as fast as I can, but there's a lot of information to cover. And so let's get started since I started a little bit late. And hey, before I get into this, I did want to mention something. I've been the vice president of a company with hundreds of employees all over the country in the health insurance arena for about 20 years. But over the last 3 years, I decided to really dive into a project or two on the side to supplement my income, because I've got 5 boys and a couple in college, expenses off the charts. And so when I jumped into a couple of things a few years back, I started realizing that we all, in our 9-to-5 jobs, we all kind of serve at the whim of a boss someplace, right? So I decided to have a couple little sideline projects going. And in 2017, my sideline projects actually passed my 9-to-5 income. So in 2018, I decided, I'm going to really find something creative and unusual out there, and I'm going to share it with as many people as I can. And I want to really see if I can do something very special And so coincidentally, I got a call from a friend of mine about 6 weeks ago, and he told me about FES. And before I get started, guys, I want you to understand this company's been around almost 15 years. They're A+ rated with a Better Business Bureau. So what you're about to hear is not some fly-by-night startup company. These guys are doing and have done amazing work, and they're A+ rated with a Better Business Bureau. So please understand that as we move forward. And I'm going to go over the products, and then I'm going to go over a little bit of the financial side. But understand as you're watching this, you might just be a customer of the product. You might not do anything with it, or you might think, gosh, I could turn that into a business. And so let me ask you a couple of questions before we get started. Now, wink, wink, these questions might pertain to you, but they might not. Do you know anybody that might have less than perfect credit? Yeah, probably. Do you know anybody that might not have their financial affairs completely in order? We'll talk about that. Do you know anybody that might have some debt and they don't really have a game plan for paying it down? They're just kind of struggling making those minimum payments. I can relate to that personally. We'll talk more about that in a second. Do you know anybody that, they're not crazy about their current job, and guys, for the last few weeks since I've been talking about this, I wake up every morning and I am super stoked to tell people about what FES is doing, because I want to show you how it's changing families' lives in just a minute. And all of these things can lead to the ability to create more money for your family. Now, it's important to understand what we're going to talk about is a way to protect the money that you currently make, but we're also going to talk about ways to stretch your dollars further, because we hope and we anticipate that we can improve your credit, monitor your credit, but we also have a lot of other products that are going to be orbiting around this conversation for the next few minutes. So I don't want you to think that this company is 100% about credit repair. It is the center of what we do because it has such an impact on the rest of your life, but it's not all of what we do. And let's talk a little bit about the company. I'm going to be brief, but the company was founded in 2004, and for much of their life, they used traditional advertising means. You might say old-fashioned advertising, running commercials on television and newspaper clippings and that kind of thing. Well, we all know that for the last few years, everything's gone social media, right? Everybody's having conversations about products and companies. These guys are not different, right? They decided to move into the social conversation arena. And that's why people like me can share it with my friends and family, and I can create an income for myself because we're using direct sales to share the financial services that these guys are doing. And since they've made that move, and because they enjoyed an A+ rating with a Better Business Bureau, they have become debt-free with 100% annual year-over-year sales growth. So you're getting involved with a company at the perfect time, because they've worked out all the kinks over the last 14 or 15 years. And now you're getting involved with a company that's gotten the direct sales down to a science, and they're A+ rated. So it's an easy conversation to have with your friends and family. And their mission plan is very simple. They want to kind of remove the financial uncertainty out of your life, whether that means making more money or whether that means being smarter with the money you currently make. We're going to talk about that here over the next few minutes. So FES has many products that are going to be orbiting around, and I'll move as fast as I can, but we're going to run through some of those. So we're going to talk about it from the product side, and then we're going to discuss whether or not you think you could share this with your friends and family and create an income. Now, I will tell you that over the last 5 weeks, I've created more of an income than I was getting as a vice president of a multi-million-dollar company with 700 employees. So it is very, very possible that you can create something very unusual. Brian, I see you raising your hand. We're not going to really take any questions on these live events. I don't mean to be rude, but I got to move through for everybody's sake. So, Brian, I'll give you an opportunity to contact me after the phone call, after the overview. So we're going to talk about these other products that are orbiting around at FES. And before we get there, let's talk a little bit about the cost of having bad credit, because as you know, from the moment you get out of college until the time you're put in a pine box or cremated or whatever, somebody is constantly monitoring your activity, and having good credit can impact everything. How much you're paying for your car, how much you pay for your house, whether or not you can get insurance premiums and car insurance premiums go up. Everything is impacted by your credit, and you shouldn't pay your entire life for some mistakes you made in your youth. And we'll talk more about that. Without a strong credit score, you can be denied the ability to rent a home. We're going to talk about how you can get credit for rental payments to impact your credit. You've never been able to do that before. We'll talk more about that in a second. You might not be able to obtain credit cards, or even be considered for some employment positions because of bad credit. You see, a low credit score could cost you hundreds of thousands of dollars over the course of your lifetime. Really, if you're young and you have horrible credit as opposed to great credit, you could spend $1 million more over your lifetime because you've got bad credit, or credit that's not where it could be or should be. So guys, when I got started a few weeks back, I got on a dashboard much like this, and I entered my information. And 544 was not my credit score, but let's say it was. What I want you to understand is that I'm not making any promises, and the company's not, that they can move your credit score from 544 or wherever it is to some 100 points higher or 150 points higher. Now, I hear stories about that all the time. The gentleman who signed me up, his credit score went up almost 200 points, and other guys went up 100 and 150. I hear those things all the time, but we can't make guarantees because you might be sitting there with a foreclosure and repossessions, and somebody else might be sitting there with some tax issues and a couple of medical bills, right? Well, how can we make the same carte blanche promise to multiple different people with different situations entirely? But this dashboard is going to allow you to get in and manage the program and understand the program such that you can move your credit score from where it is currently, move it into the orange or move it into the light green to the dark green, but you're going to be able to watch it and watch the progress in the process. You see, guys, these folks have been doing this for 14 years. This isn't an experiment. They know exactly what they're doing. There's close to 1 million derogatory items have been removed from people's credit scores. I'm in the process of working on mine right now. They sent me a letter. They showed me exactly what I needed to argue. I sent off those letters to the credit bureaus. I got the responses back today, and I'm going to send those into FES, and they're going to work through and do what they can do. And because they get customers involved and they've got live customer support, you're going to see movement, but you just need to give it time. But understand that even if you've got great credit, there are things we're about to talk about that help you monitor your credit, help you maintain it because of identity theft. We've got a lot of things we're about to cover. So grab a pen, grab some paper. We're about to roll. So let's talk a little bit about the Fair Credit Reporting Act of 1971, I believe it was. But in the 1970s, I remember. And it gave consumers a lot of advantages that they didn't have before then. Because I have people tell me sometimes, Scott, I've got the ability to go on and grab my credit report. Can I do these things? And I'm like, well, I guess you could theoretically deal with late payments and collections and bankruptcies and judgments and foreclosures and public record issues and settlements and personal information and tax liens, all the things that could be impacting your credit score and whether they're erroneous or obsolete. But do you really want to take time away from your family and work to figure that out? Or had you rather hire a company that's been doing it successfully for years? Well, the answer to that question is obviously going to be, well, Scott, what's it cost? What's the program come with? What are you talking about making money? How can I make money? Because obviously, if you can make more money than you spend, that's a great deal, right? So we're going to go through all of that here in the next few minutes. Before we get there, though, I want to discuss some other things. Because remember, I said we're not talking about just credit repair. This company helps us with things like our last will. It helps us with living trust. It helps us with financial power of attorney and healthcare power of attorney. And there's a lot of value in these, in fact, thousands of dollars of value just on this page right here alone. There's no add-on or surprise charges, or you get unlimited updates from members. You get all of these things are developed by attorneys. You can log in 24/7. They're all easy to use documents, giving you the freedom to kind of completely manage your home or office right here in this product. And so you're going to see, I think, a very surprising overview of how much is done when you get a membership. And let's talk about a couple of more things here. I've got a 25-year-old and I've got two 20-year-olds. They have no credit. They don't have bad credit, but when they go to get a car, having no credit sometimes is just as bad as having bad credit. So we have, as part of the benefits of membership, we have a program called Credit Builder, and it gives young people or old people trying to rebuild access your credit report in easy to understand online format, and it gives you an extensive library, and it gives you tips on what debt is good, what debt is bad, what to pay off first, and why. It's just a Credit Builder program that comes as a part of membership. You also get access to a credit attorney. Maybe you've gotten a tax lien, or maybe you've gotten a garnishment letter you're concerned about and you don't have an attorney to reach out to. Boom, now you do as a member. We also have credit monitoring on your smartphone. So if you've got great credit and you're watching this, your friend was thoughtful enough to send you this link, or they're sharing this. And by the way, if you're watching this on Facebook, please click share. Don't forget to share. Hit share, because something on here is going to help somebody and they're going to tell you thank you. But the credit monitoring is done on your smartphone. So if someone gets into your credit report or they're doing something unusual, the company monitors that and they let you know via notification. One of the programs I love as a 48-year-old male, I've got a lot of weird debt out there, right? I might have boats and cars and houses and student loans and taxes and all kinds of things. And I just struggle to pay the minimums. I don't really have a plan, like we talked about at the beginning of the call. Do you have a plan to pay down your debt? Probably not. FES will put together a plan with a couple of things in mind. They want you to pay off your debt in such a way where it maximizes the impact on your credit. And they want to get you to a zero debt baseline. You see, these guys are zero. They don't have any corporate debt. They want you to have no personal debt, and they'll give you a plan to get there. We also have a partnership with a company called LifeLock. And a lot of you have probably heard of LifeLock. We are constantly going to the marketplace to find the best relationships. But right now, we're partnered with LifeLock. We'd like to keep that partnership. But guys, if another company has a better deal for a better price, we're going to go to them. But we know, or you should know, that FES is going to bring the best partnership it possibly can to the table each time that they partner with a new company. But guys, LifeLock can secure your identity. So if you've got a great credit score again, or if you go through this program and you get there, it's important to understand LifeLock is going to monitor and protect your identity to make sure that you can maintain that credit score that you worked so hard for. Now, are you starting to see that there's a lot of value here? We also have a program called Financial Lockbox. And in the Financial Lockbox, you can keep your life insurance, which you'll see comes with the program here in a minute. You can keep other documentation, bank statements, credit card information, pension plan, whatever, anything that's financially important to your life, you can keep it in one easy to access online environment. So if something happens to you, your spouse or your kids can find it and deal with your estate appropriately. Also, we have an RX discount card. Prescription drugs are outrageous. Even if you've got great insurance, you might be paying a ton for prescription drugs. Our membership comes with a prescription drug card. It comes with a travel discount program. It's backed by American Express. We have an agent who books all the travel and gives us information on great travel deals to all of our members. We have that as part of the membership. You also have 4,000 participating retailers in a cashback shopping opportunity for you as a member. You see, guys, it goes on. And when I was in Orlando last week, they were talking about adding many, many more things as membership value. So you're going to see the value of your membership when you start digging in. And more importantly, you're going to see it growing over the next coming months and years. We also, for every membership, when someone joins the FES protection plan, we give a piece of that monthly payment we give to the youth financial literacy program. You see, I don't know about you, but when I was in school, I learned calculus and geography, but I never learned how to balance a checkbook or how to maintain a debt-free life or how to deal with credit or any of those things. The youth financial literacy program does that, and we give money to that program. You also have health insurance you have access to. We're not a health insurance provider, but we give you access to some leading national carriers where you can compare costs with insurance programs. And if you decide to be an agent, which not just a customer, but an agent, which means you're going to tell people about it and you're going to earn commissions as you share it, $30,000 of life insurance you get after you've been on a certain, I think it's 3 months. And then once you hit a year, you have $100,000 of life insurance. Guys, that's a big deal. And it's starting to get better. You're about to be put in a position, or they're about to start offering the agents the ability to buy up from there for life insurance. And you can take advantage of being in a group setting. This is just some examples of what we've given to the Youth Financial Literacy Program. It's $785,000 over the last 4 years, from 2013 to 2017. It's nice to know that you're involved with a company. Not only are they A+ rated, but they're also giving back to the community and they're putting their money where their mouth is. So you can see, guys, there's a lot going on here. If you were to go to the marketplace and buy all of these things, you'd probably spend $400 a month or so on all of this stuff. If you were to add the will and the power of attorney and the trust and all those things, in some marketplaces, you could be looking at spending $10,000 or more. Well, if you decide to get involved as a customer here, You're going to pay a one-time activation fee of $99, and that's going to get the company engaged and start working on monitoring and trying to get your credit score from where it is upward, and it's going to get you the identity theft protection, all of that stuff. And then you're going to pay $89 a month. Now, I'm like you, right? Did I mention I've got 5 kids? When I saw this, I thought, okay, well, the 99 is okay, but I'm a little concerned about the $89 a month, honestly. And I was having this debate with myself, and I'm thinking, okay, well, that's $3 a day. I don't know. And I'm parking the car and I'm going into Target. And every day I go to Target, same Target, excuse me. And I walk in the door and I go up and stand in line at Starbucks and I order a, what is it? Starbucks. It's a Java chip Frappuccino with skim milk, extra shot of espresso, light on the whipped cream, no drizzle. Every day it's $5. Every day I tip $2. So every day I spend $7 on coffee. Just that one cup of coffee. For my wife, it's my wife. I would do anything for her, so I don't worry about it. But the irony, the reason I mention that, I was standing in line worrying about $3 a day to protect my family's financial security, to lock down our identity, to restore our credit, to monitor our credit, for life insurance, all the things I've just talked about. I felt like the biggest dummy. Of course, I'm going to spend $3 a day on all of that stuff when I'm going to spend $7 on a cup of coffee. Isn't it all about where we set priorities? And so I went back to the car and I called my friend and I said, I'm in. I don't know what I was even thinking about. Of course, I'm going to do this. And he said, Scott, dude, you're not going to pay the $89 but 1 month. And I said, well, what do you mean? I thought you said it's every month. He said, well, it is every month. But once you sign up 5 people, if you share this with 5 people, now, because I was going to be an agent, he said, once you share it with 5 people, you don't pay for it anymore. And I thought, oh, well, duh. I'm going to share it with everybody I know. Why wouldn't I? We'll talk more about that in just a second. So don't get carried away by that, because I got involved, paid those things, got my 5 people. I'm never paying that $89 again. We'll talk more about that in a second. But here are some other things. If you need additional will and trust work, in addition to the normal things, if you got some unusual things, there's some charges there. There's a credit monitoring program that costs almost nothing. And by the way, that credit monitoring program is awesome. It's in addition to what comes with it. Also, there's an additional identity theft piece you can buy. There's merchant services. There's secured credit cards. There's a credit analyzer. Guys, this company is replete. I mean, it's got stuff all over the place that you can add and do. But this is my favorite piece. You ready? Remember at the beginning of the call, I kind of alluded to the fact that you could get credit for paying rent. It would help you offset or improve your credit over the years. Well, I love this program because I didn't realize that when I pay my mortgage payments, every month I make a payment, it helps me with my credit score. But did you did you understand or know that when you pay apartment payments or payments for rental for a house or whatever, that when you pay your landlord or your management company, you get no benefit of that. It doesn't impact your credit at all. This company will go back 2 years. If you tell them who you paid and how much, and they'll construct exactly a plan and go to the credit bureaus and get you credit for rent paid. Now, what that can have an impact on your credit score, number one. But number two, if you're going to a mortgage company at some point to get into a purchase environment, without this program, they're not looking at you as having paid anything for the last few years. With this program, all of a sudden you're going to that mortgage lender and you can get approved for a loan that you might have either gotten denied for or you might have had a worse interest rate. If you can show that you've made good payments over a couple of years, it's a wonderful program. It's a little bit of extra, but I jumped right into it. I thought it was a great program. So what I want to show you now, guys, is obviously there's a lot of stuff there, right? There's a lot of value. It's not just credit repair. There's a lot of other things going on. So I want you to start thinking about something with me. If it's a great program and it's A+ rated with a Better Business Bureau and it's been around 15 years and it's having all these dramatic positive impact on people, why wouldn't you share it with folks? You see, you can go out there and you can share it with folks and they can just become your customer. And I'm going to show you how it can create a pretty significant income flow. But also you can go out there and retrain and you can recruit and train and develop and manage your own nationwide team of people. And you can create a very significant income situation for your family. And what are you doing? You're just helping other people organize their family's finances. You don't have to have experience. All you're doing is plugging them into the machinery. FES does all the heavy lifting and the work. I was fascinated with this, guys. I took a leave of absence for a month, and I've done nothing but this because the money that I saw that I'm about to share with you stunned me in its potential. And now I see it's real because every Thursday I'm seeing it happen to my family. Very significant. Let's talk real quickly about how things work. You see, when I start a business, in this case, I'm going to spend $89 a month, right, for my membership. So I view that as my business overhead. So when I got started, I spent $99 activation fee. I spent $89 for my first month, and I spent $100 to start my business as an agent, right? So I spent $288. I got all of that stuff, and I started a business. I'm like, okay, well, that sounds pretty cheap, but what do I do to get my money back? And he said, well, Scott, you're going to spend $80 or $89 a month. So first thing, let's just cover that. And I said, okay, well, how do I cover it? He said, well, if you can find one person in the country that wants to improve their financial situation and you bring them in, you're going to get $100. And I thought, okay, I can do that surely every day, much less every month. And so he said, well, if you do another person, you get another 100. I'm like, cool. So now I've doubled up my $89. And he said, well, if you keep going, it's unlimited. You can bring another 100. You can sign up customers over and over and over. There's no limit to the amount of people you can share this with. So I started going on Facebook and Twitter and Instagram and Snapchat, anything I could do to share this with people because I didn't feel like I'm selling anything. I'm just trying to help people with their family, right? And so all of these people come on board. I get $100 every time they do. And whenever they're paying their renewal, I'm getting $12 a month as they enjoy all of those services. So I'm getting $100 a pop on the front end, and I'm getting $12 for my personal customers on the back end. So I'm starting to think, wow, I could really turn this into something. Now, guys, this is just some math. I don't want you to see this as some kind of guarantee or even an estimation, but think about the math of it here for a minute. If I go out and find 5 customers in a month, then obviously that's $500 a month, right? 100 each. And I don't have any more overhead in my business. Now, that's not $5. That's not 5 customers every month. That's just if I have 5 people paying the $89 in August, then I don't pay my fee in September. So if one drops off, I need to add one, but I can add as many as I want. So now I've got a business with 0 overhead. So if I make $1, what have I been doing? I've made a profitable business, right? So the bar is very low. Well, if I can put in 5 customers a week, now I'm talking about $2,000 a month. What about 10 customers a week? $4,000 a month. And you see where we're going, 20 customers in a week, $100,000 a year. That's a 6-figure income, guys. And all I'm doing is finding 20 people in a week somewhere in the country that want to improve their financial situation. And it was just a no-brainer. And he said, well, Scott, dude, it's about to get a lot better because when you come in, you're an agent and you're getting the $100 CAB, customer acquisition bonus, right? But then when you go out there and you tell other people what you're doing, and a couple of agents join you, and some 2 or 3 or 4 other people buy the program in a given month, you become a field trainer. So you've upped yourself. Now you're making $160. Well, you go out and you build a little bigger team. We're going to talk more about this in a second, but you build a little bigger team. Now you're looking at $240 every time you bring somebody in the business. It gets better, a lot better. Sales director. They told me, Scott, if you can get to sales director in your first month, that's where the big money is because now you're making $380 for customer acquisition bonus. And I'm like, well, that is awesome. I'm all over that. Well, I got to sales director in my first, I want to say 10 days or 2 weeks or something. I got to the sales director part and making $380. So how many people you think Scott's going to bring into the business if I'm going to make $380 every time I bring somebody in? You think I'm going to focus on that? Could I do 3 or 4 people a day? Could it be pretty significant? You're darn right it could be, and it gets a lot better. Guys, this is my favorite slide that I've ever seen in business anywhere on any PowerPoint in all my life. It's unbelievable. I want you to focus on those little green arrows down at the bottom because what I'm about to talk about pays to unlimited levels, okay? Now, think about this structure going from left to right is how you move through our organization. In traditional corporate America, if you're going to move from the left to the right, you've got to step on people and kiss butt and get around people and work 9 to 5. And 40 years later, you might retire with a gold watch and a pension plan that you exhaust in 10 years, and then you're a greeter at Walmart, right? That's kind of the corporate world. In our world, I come in as an agent and I say, hey, how do I get to a promotion? And they say, just help a couple of people, just see the program. And I'm like, okay. So I went to field trainer, and I'm at field trainer, and I call up my guy and I say, hey, how do I get to that next one? And he said, just repeat it. Help those two people find a couple people. I'm like, oh, okay. So I went from agent to field trainer to senior field trainer to sales director to regional sales director in my first, I think, 3 weeks, or I think it was 3 or 4 weeks. So I get up to regional sales director. So now I'm sitting here and I make $430 every time somebody gets in the business. Now, guys, grasp this and you won't sleep tonight, I promise. The green arrow that goes down, it goes down unlimited levels. I could have somebody on my 49th level, you know, because when I say level, you know what I mean? I'm talking to Joe, and Joe's talking to Sam, and Sam's talking to Donna, and Donna's talking to Sally. 49 of those, write down. Most companies like this pay you just a certain amount, right? Well, with this one, if I'm due $430 and some field trainer signs up somebody, you know, 40 levels below me, they're going to get 160 coming their way. They're going to intercept. They're going to 160 of the 430 that's going to come up to me. If there's nobody ranked higher than that 160, I'm going to pick up, what is that, $270 when someone got in 40 levels below me. Guys, I could have 400 people come in a week that I'm making that kind of money on, 40 levels below me. Guys, this is the most unbelievable financial program I've ever seen. Because here's what's happening. Think about this now. This page shows you what you can make each time you do what? Not sell something. Each time you help a family get into a home or get approved for a car or be able to refinance student loans. In other words, every time you bless a person, you get paid these amounts. Well, that's interesting, right? Because the product is a blessing. But look at the program itself. You see, if I'm a regional sales director, how do I get to the next level? Is it stepping on somebody or cheating somebody? The only way I move up to executive sales director is I've got to help other people on the other levels, because for me to move up to these different levels, my business needs to look like something, and I need to have a certain amount of volume to move up these steps. So today I spent all day reaching back and trying to help new agents understand and get to people. I've been trying to help field trainers understand and get to senior field trainer. I spend my days trying to do what? Bless other people. I wake up in the morning, all I think about is, how do I bless these people so that Thursday comes around, they're going to get a nice little bonus, a nice little weekly payday. Every morning, since I've gotten involved in this business, every Thursday morning, I roll over, grab my phone, look at my checking account, and I get paid commissions directly deposited directly into my checking account every Thursday morning. So we're not allowed to talk specifics of income, but I'll tell you that I was very happy on the first one. I was crazy happy on the second one. I was insanely happy on the third one. And I was just blown away on the fourth one. And I've only had 4 because I've only been in 5 weeks. Every Thursday, though, you get paid based on where you've promoted yourself, and you've promoted yourself only by helping other people. Guys, think of the beauty of that. Do you get up on Monday mornings thinking, I can't wait to bless people today, and when I do bless people, I'm going to create more money for myself next week? You probably don't. This is the only business I've ever seen that pays me unlimited depths. There's no telling who I'm blessing. The product itself is a blessing because people both need it and they want it. Every American in the country should have this, bar none. Hard stop. Everybody should have it. If they have it, their family is blessed in so many ways. And if I help enough people, bless enough people, I get what I want by moving up the chart. So here you might be in Kansas City. You just start telling folks. You know, you got friends all over the country, tell them about it. And they're going to start telling their friends because, again, we're not selling anything, right? We're just helping people get involved and save money for their family and stretch their money further. If you did that little setup right there, you're looking at $5,000 of bonuses for when you did that. So if you do it once a month, you're looking at $5,000 a month, right? If you did that. If you did that same little setup and you did it once a week, you're looking at $20,000 a month. You starting to see something here? If you did that same little thing twice a week, you know, you see where we're going. That's why people can get to 6-figure a week incomes, because they're blessing a lot of people and they've helped other people bless a lot of people. Guys, it's unreal. I'm going to fly through this one. But when I got involved, they said, Scott, just go out and find 5 people and help those 5 get 5. And you're going to be blown away by what happens. And I've done that, and I have flat been blown away by what happens. Now, guys, I'm going to just not even hardly touch on this, but I want you to understand that the money doesn't stop there. We get paid, like right now, I'm at a level where I get paid almost 1% of my entire organization's volume. So in any given month, if there's $80,000 of volume down there, I'm making almost 1% of all of that. I get that as a little bonus each month. All of these other things I saw in Orlando, people getting all of these other things added to their checks that we just talked about. Guys, there's massive numbers on here, massive numbers. Look through some of that. I saw a buddy of mine get the $5,000 monthly house payment down there, and the same buddy got the one-time $50,000 cash bonus. And he's already making 6 figures a month on top of those things. Guys, this is unbelievable. I met all of these folks. They're all getting these car bonuses. This is a fascinating company. I met some of these folks in Orlando. The guy on the bottom left there is a friend of mine, Alfred. I talked to him a couple hours ago. He's doing amazing things, helping thousands of people, and he earns every penny of that 6-figure that he makes each month, doing amazing work. So on the left side is everything that you get when you join, right? On the right side is a lot of our products that we just flew through. So the left side are tools that you have to run your business. I'm going to be doing this every single night. Every single night that I'm not traveling for business or at one of my kids' things, I'm going to be sitting right here. And we'll talk more about that in just a second. I want you, if you're at all interested, I want you to go to successwithfes.com. Successwithfes.com is up the top there. And that is a website where you go after you're an agent and you study that. Study it. It gives you everything you need to do step by step by step to be successful. It's going to tell you what you need to do and how to get quick start. And it's going to tell you what you need to do in your first week. And it's going to talk about the video library of assets at your disposal. There's so much to know. So let's kind of leave it where we started it. Do you know anybody that has less than perfect credit? Do you know anybody that doesn't have a will, a trust, or needs a power of attorney? Do you know anybody that has debt and would benefit from a system to pay it off in an organized way? Do you know anybody that works in a credit-related industry like real estate and mortgage, auto, or banking? Because those people have customers that need what we do, right? And you can talk to your friends and they can become your client. You know, who's looking for a full or part-time income? I promise you it's very full-time in its nature. You know, and who's just frustrated with their career, needs a change. You know, I talked a minute ago about loving waking up on Monday morning. I like throwing some shorts. I go sit on the couch and I bless people all day long. And all of that can lead you to become financially free if you work. This isn't a get-rich-quick scheme, but boy, having an A-plus rated company that I can share with people to help them with their finances and organize their family better, it's as close to shooting fish as I've ever come to in a barrel. But guys, here's what I wanted to leave with you here, and I promise I'm just a slide or two away from the end. I want you to understand that you have either me or whoever shared this video with you, you've got experts or people becoming experts around you in the business. So sure, you need to learn, but when you put your friends and family on the phone with somebody who's already done well with this, it creates respect and credibility with people that you already have trust and rapport with. So engage and get your friends on a 3-way phone call. Engage your friends and get them on a webinar. Invite them back here tomorrow night. I'll do the exact same thing. You can edify me and say, this guy's doing very well. He just started 5 weeks ago and he's already extremely excited about his income and doing amazing things. You know, get them to this webinar. If you get them to the webinar, you can see no one's pushing anything. I don't even know who's on here. I'm not pushing or being hard selling. I'm just telling you about what's there. It's not for everybody, but if you can hook people up with experts, guys, you can do this. You can do it. Because keep in mind, remember, you're just getting a couple of people and then trying to get a couple of folks. So, you know, in the end here, let's just ask ourselves this. You know, you might have excellent credit. You might not care about protecting it necessarily. You might have all your financial affairs in order. You love your current job, but you can tell other people about what you've heard here tonight. You can give referrals to your friends who shared this video with you. Others of us might say, well, you know, I don't know. I don't know about the money making part. I'm really got all the money I can use, but I'm interested in the membership. I'd like to get going. You know, what do I need to do? Well, get back to the friend who shared this with you and sign up with them. Please don't reach out to me asking to enroll with me. I don't want you to see this and come to me. You're supposed to see this and go to the friend who shared it with you, all right, and become their customer. Also, you might look at this and think, oh, hold on, I want to be a customer, but dadgummit, guys, I'm excited about being an agent. I mean, for $100 more, why wouldn't I be an agent? Because I can go out there and share it with a few folks and get my money back. And you can build a significant income for your family by becoming an agent. So guys, thank you so much. A few more sentences and we are wrapping up. Boy, I tell you, we have had every participant stay for this whole call. I don't have that very often. So that's great. Thank you guys. In summary, here we are. We've got a company that's been around 15 years. They got a great track record. They enjoy an A+ rating with a Better Business Bureau. They provide tools that allow families to both organize their finances and protect their identity, and to either improve or monitor or both their credit. You've got a credit builder, you got the Debt Zero program, you've got all the insurance policies, the insurance access, everything that we do for the $3 a day. Guys, no wonder this has been the easiest business growth that I've ever seen. Now, are people resistant? Sure. I mean, people all the time think everything is a scam all over the place, right? Everything that's not their 9-to-5 job is somehow a scam, right? Well, you're going to bump into those people. Sure you are. Sure you are. There's no problem. Just move on, right? Because once I tell people, I personally have never had a conversation with anybody who didn't become an agent. Not a single time. Everybody that I've ever been on the phone with, 100% all the time, has become an agent. So what I try to do is get my team to get me on the phone with their friends. And I've gotten to the point where I can share the truth, which is a wonderful thing, tell them a little bit about what I'm making and a little bit about what's possible, and give them some direction. And then when they understand, they can reach out to me. We can grow this thing together, guys. I promise we can. So I'm going to be here tomorrow night. I'm going to be here at 8 o'clock Central Standard Time every night.